everyone, this is Nidhi from Designhill, your host for today. I hope you and your family are keeping well and safe, taking care of your near and dear ones, taking all the precautions in these testing times. I am welcoming you all for this webinar with Gil Petersil, where we are going to discuss about creating business opportunities through online networking. Today's event is brought to you by Designhill, world's leading creative marketplace that caters to the creative needs of businesses and individuals alike, who can source high-quality designs from professional designers and buy unique products by a world-class community of independent artists. So moving ahead, let me introduce our speaker for today. We have with us Gil Petersil. Gil, can you please come on stage?
Hello, everyone.
Hi. So happy to have you here with us, Gil. Gil is an international expert on business strategy, effective networking, and mastermind methodology. He's a passionate student of human networking, co-owner of 7 international businesses, and the leading regional partner for Tony Robbins. Gil is also a visiting professor at multiple global universities. He is the author of the best-selling book called New Code of Networking. A serial entrepreneur with 200 plus mentored companies. He is a sought after keynote speaker and has presented at 1,000 plus events and 150 plus interviews. Oh my God, such amazing bio. Gil, please say hi to the audiences, please.
Hello, my friends. I'm really honored and happy to be here. I've heard so much about the Designhill movement and the team. And I'm excited to be joining you and being able to serve you. I'm coming to you live from our new home in Bali. As you can see, I got some nice trees here behind, and it will get dark in a few minutes, and suddenly you're gonna see all that disappear, and we'll have a black background, so your focus is just gonna be on our content here today.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gil, for taking out the time from your schedule and joining us today for this webinar. So great. Before we start the session, I have a couple of announcements to make for everyone. We are giving away certificates to the attendees who will stick till the end of the workshop. So please don't miss out on this chance and please stay tuned till the end. Also, do take a screenshot of this event and post it on your Insta story. Tag Designhill DH. Also tag Gil Petersil, which is Instagram handle for Gil, and use hashtag Designhill events. One lucky winner will have a chance to win a print shop gift card worth $50. So please do that as much as possible. You could be the lucky winner. All right, so before we start the session, let's quickly look at what Designhill is all about.
Looking to bring your branding out of the 80s? Head to the world's #1 creative marketplace, Designhill.
When I wanted to grow my parents' restaurant business, I knew we needed a better logo than the one my Uncle Sonny drew back in the 1980s. That's why I went to Designhill and got an incredible logo and brand identity that met all my needs within my small budget. The process was easy. I just went to Designhill's marketplace to choose from one of their incredible professional designers. Find one you like based on their style. Oh, this one looks interesting. Check the ratings and reviews to see how other people like their work. Oh, seems like he's worked at restaurants before. Then add some information about your business. Do you have a slogan? Where's the logo gonna appear? What colors do you need? Then your designer will get to work delivering you an incredible logo. You can even find an expert to design any kind of graphic design, from packaging to menus to t-shirts to business cards. I got everything. And now with the help of Designhill, I have everything I need to take my business to the next level and leave the 80s where they belong. It's real. Mom and Dad are so proud. Maybe we can open up a second location, or a third, or a fourth, or let's just go global.
Let the world know it's real and build your brand with Designhill.
All right, so that was all about Designhill, and now we are all set to start the session. We will also take up questions during the session, guys. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the questions tab. We will be taking up all the questions towards the end of the session. Gil, up to you. I'm sharing the presentation here for your help. Yeah.
Fabulous. Let's just get that presentation to the first slide.
Yes.
All right. Wonderful. Very, very good. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, really happy to see so many people from so many different countries around the world I'd love to know where you're from. Give me a little bit of an insights where you guys are from, so I understand, the countries you're from, the cities you're from. Quick introductions of who you are would be wonderful. So if you're gonna say, hey, I'm Nico, I'm Christina, I'm from this country, and this is what I do. That would really inspire me to see what sort of people I have around me. And I love being around international audiences. So why don't you take, a quick 10, 30 seconds right now and like put this in there. Wow, we have someone from Russia. Maybe some of you know I actually used to live in Russia for many, many years in my life. And I'm a proud father of 3 kids who are half Russian because my wife is absolutely Russian. Wow, Algeria, Philippines, absolutely. Wow, from different corners in the world. This is really exciting. Some people in Indonesia, hey, you're near me. Very, very good. Well, I'm in Bali, India, wonderful, wonderful. Philippines, proud teacher. We're like, there you go. I like that, Nico. So Nico beautifully introduced themselves and where they're from and what they do. Don't just tell me where you're from. Tell me what you do. Give me a little bit. Certified public accountant. There you go. Beautiful. So far, everybody from the Philippines are winning because they're introducing themselves. Tell me where they're from and what they do. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, we got Christina from Serbia. Wow, okay. Beautiful, beautiful. This is exciting for me personally because over the last 6 years, I've been doing this all over the world. I've been jumping on stages in different parts of the world. And, it's been over 500 times that I've done this. And every single time I get excited all over again because it's a brand new group of people. Now, of course, many people have listened to me multiple times, but I'm assuming you're here as a new audience. How many of you have listened to me before? Give me a yes, yes, yes. Or maybe you did some research and you watched some videos. And how many of you are like, well, first time, Gil, never heard about you before, excited to be here. Give me like a no, no, no. So like, I know and I can gauge who's with me here today. So yes, if you watch my videos, if you've been to some of my events, know if this is the first time we're interacting and you're like, Gil who? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I love that. We got some fresh meat with us today. Some people who have maybe not done their research. So maybe you haven't checked me out on Google. So your first lesson of today, hopefully you all have a piece of paper maybe around you and maybe you're making some notes on your phone, but I'm a big believer in pieces of paper and pen because it allows our brain to remember what it is that we want to know and remember. It allows our brain to tell ourselves this is something we should act on. So if you're interested in creating new business opportunities and you understand that the art and sciences of networking is something that's quite powerful, so many geniuses and giants in business around the world have mentioned to us this in books and in articles that we are the average of the 5 or the 7 people around us, and your net worth is your network. You must have heard that before. You must have heard that, if you want to get that great job with that great client, it's always going to be through introductions, through recommendations, through people you know. You must have heard that building trust could take you a very long time unless you get a referral from someone, then you could build trust very quickly. All of these things are all coming down to the way we network, the way we build our community around us, the way we support and serve our community around us. Now, today I'm going to hopefully show you and allow you and empower you to discover some new instruments, both offline and online, because in some parts of the world, you're still able to have small gatherings of 5 people. 5 or 7 people is a powerful way to network intimately, deeply on a mastermind, as a dinner. This could be people in your building, this could be people in your neighborhood that you haven't met with before, and I could give you some insights and ideas on how to do that if you wish. We're gonna spend half our time today on a little presentation I prepared for you, and the other half is just gonna be full questions for you. So please make sure that on the questions section, anytime you have a question, just throw your questions in there, please. Don't wait, throw your questions, and my team is gonna help me gauge which one they believe are the most relevant and important for us today. Of course, my focus is to help you understand how you could use networking in generally. Today, because of COVID, using it online is one of the greatest gifts that you could ever imagine. Why? Because, you know, I've been using, you know, online networking techniques for many, many years, of course, because as a young kid, wow, I don't know if you guys can hear. Do you hear that rain? It's like heavy tropical rain behind me right now. I feel the energy, and I'm hoping that you feel that energy coming through me to you, because a massive part of networking is how you feel and how people feel you. So first of all, a little introduction about myself, because some of you might not have done your research, and it is your first note that you take on today. Number one note is always spend 5 minutes to research any human being I aim to spend 1 hour with. Whether it's a potential client, a potential date, a future husband or a wife, maybe you're meeting the parent of your girlfriend or boyfriend, maybe you're meeting a potential business partner, potential investor, a mentor, you know, a speaker, a coach, a trainer. Spend at least 5 minutes just quickly putting their name on Google and to see what's going on, to see who is this person? Is this person relevant to me? Because that is actually where networking starts. Networking starts at home. Networking starts when you know you're going to meet someone. Networking starts when you choose to spend time with someone. Networking starts when you're like, well, I'm going to go to this online event and there's going to be all these speakers. How can I start networking before? I could do research on speakers. I could see if they have any chat. I could see if they have any social network to see who else is going. I could join early, and you can actually be active in the chat, you know, and like talk to people and introduce yourself and be super active. So for example, right now, if I ask you a question like, you know, what's your favorite animal? How many of you are active in the chat right now? What's your favorite animal? Put it in the chat right now. Let's just see. Okay. Juanita is first. She's the winner today. All right, this is good. Elephant and dog. I like that, Rita. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Elephants, you can find a lot of them here in Bali. So this is wonderful. So for, snow leopard, who is that? I like you. I'd love to see a snow leopard one day. Okay, so this is the hey, okay, this is good, this is good. Juanita, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly. She's excited, this is good. So penguin, there you go, beautiful. So this is just an example of you currently networking, whether you understand it or not. What does that actually mean? You're interacting with me, so you're giving me great energy to send it back at you. You're also showing the audience that you're an active person. You're not what's called a passive human being, sitting back and looking at the world just passing by, looking at all of the other people getting business opportunities, and they're making money, and they're getting a new car, and they're traveling, and they're buying a new house, and they look happy. And why am I not happy? Because I don't take action. I've learned networking through action. I learned networking because networking for me didn't come from, you know, just when I was born and my parents gave me the art of networking. No, and school didn't teach me about networking. Did school teach any of you about networking? Did school teach any of you how to build relationships and how to communicate effectively and how to build a network around you and how to connect with people and disconnect with them? Did anyone study networking in school? Why? Networking is the most important subject that we should be learning in school. Think about it. You can get a job, you can get new friends, you can raise money, you can get more clients, you can get recommendations every day if network become a part of who you are. And for me, networking is really trying to understand how useful you could be to the world. Like what sort of value do I have? Maybe you're a designer, maybe you're a freelancer, you're a teacher, but am I just a teacher or am I more? For many, many years, you know, until my early 20s, I thought I was a young entrepreneur trying to make money. And I've set up so many different companies in my life, from mobile apps to restaurants and juice bars and software companies. I had a recruitment company, an events company, and many have failed beautifully. And I call them successful failures because I've learned so much from them. I've written a book about it. I teach at universities about it. and some are great success. And even though during COVID time, one of my biggest businesses that was making millions of dollars got hit big time, I still got back up. I used to be very big in the event industry. We were organizing over 100 events a year, and we were, traveling with thousands of people every year to different retreats, and boom, all of that is just finished. Now, what does that mean to me? To me, it just means that I need to look at my life and review not just my goals, but review my network. Now, something that you can consider, and it's the second note you're writing down, whenever I want to change something in my life, I need to review my network. What does that actually mean? Do an audit of what's going on in your life at that moment. Who is around you in your life in that moment? Now, what do I constantly do? Because I had a lot of challenges as a young student in school. I failed out of multiple high schools, and I never went to university. But funny enough, about 7 years ago, a university in Russia said, hey, can you come and be a visiting professor? And then another university, and for about 6 years, I was a visiting professor at many universities around the world. And it was a big honor that someone that failed out of high schools and never went to university, I learned that I can add value. I learned that I can make a difference. I learned that I could change people's lives. And what I did, I started to audit myself, and I understood why I had challenges in school. No one told me back then. I had dyslexia, so I couldn't study very easily, and I couldn't look through books, but I understood that I can listen to books. That's really cool. So now I'm big on audiobooks. And then I understood that ADHD is something that makes it difficult for me to focus. So instead of, for example, outlining my goals in a lot of text, I outline my goals in pictures. Makes it a lot easier for me and a lot more exciting for me to look through my life. So these pictures that you're seeing in front of you right now, for example, the pictures with the fruits, it's not just eating healthy. It's, for example, I love cooking, and I love learning how to cut beautiful fruits and vegetables and present food in a beautiful way. So I go to classes every once in a while, or I connect that goal to going to beautiful restaurants every week with my wife so I can be inspired by food. And fruits, for example, here in Bali, those of you know we have a lot of tropical fruits. So one of the standards I have in my house is that I always want a minimum of 15 different fruits in my kitchen counter. 15 different kind of fruits in any given day. If you show up in my house, you'll have a diversity of fruits. Why? Because it's healthy and it's beautiful for the eyes, and it's good for my 3 kids, and it's beautiful for my wife. And for me, it's very inspiring to see colorful fruits in front of you. Or for example, the private jet that you see. I don't have a private jet, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a billionaire right now, and I don't want to own a private jet. But from a networking point of view, I like networking with people who have planes because I'm able to serve them. I'm able to help their business. The private jet doesn't mean I want a jet. It means I want freedom. I want to be able to get on a jet when I want to and fly if I choose to. And in the last 12 months, yay, I didn't need to fly anywhere. I got to stay put, and I got to build my network around. So the next thing you're writing on the piece of paper in front of you, by the way, how many of you writing notes right now? Give me a yes, 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 I'm writing notes here. Come on. Yes, 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 if you're writing notes. Me, very good, very good. Next thing you're writing on the list, if I want to develop my networking skills, I must start with what I want. So you must start with some goals. In order to grow in networking, in order to audit your network itself and develop a mastermind, develop a strategy of networking online or offline, you must have some wishes. What do you wish for? So can you take a quick 30 seconds right now and tell us 1 or 2 of the biggest goals you have? What do you wish for in business or in life? You could see that some of these pictures you have in front of you is my business goals, for example, to be surrounded by books and knowledge and be able to take on information, or be able to get on stages, or be able to, be on vacation. I'm not just in Bali because it's where I want to live. It's because it's where I want to live with my family. It's where I want to do business. I see it as a vacation every day with a cocktail. Not a cocktail. I don't drink alcohol, but like a coconut, for example. So give me reaching 1,000 premium students. Okay, not sure I know what that means, but that's exciting. What else? To be a successful businesswoman. That's actually not a goal, because success is not necessarily something you can measure. I can ask you, for example, Crystal, what does success mean to you? What success means to you today might completely change in 3 months or in 1 year. So try to come up with a goal that's very, very specific. For example, I like reaching 1,000 premium students in 2021. I guess David has some sort of an online educational business. To get into one of the Ivy League universities, wonderful, okay. I like that. I really enjoy. I love that. Very, very good. Beautiful, Carolina. I like that. Come on. Come on. More, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think too much. Like, one of the most powerful things you can take away from today. If I'm not willing to share my goals with people, people will never help me achieve my goals. Remember that. You have not achieved anything alone in your life. Let me repeat that. And I'm speaking about myself right here. I have never achieved anything alone in my life, and I have achieved a lot, ladies and gentlemen. If you Google my name, you'll see how much I've achieved. My daughter, being 4 years old, has been to 30 countries, okay? So I've achieved a lot, and I see myself as success. You know, I'm achieving success, but I also understand what is the next level of success and the next level of success. Sharing your goals with others is the easiest way that you can move forward. So keep on looking at some of these goals that people are sharing and try to be inspired by them. Maybe you'll see someone like, wow, I like this Siska girl. Let me connect with her. Maybe you can write them a message after, and you can connect with someone and say, hey, let's chat a little bit later. You know, this is something that I'd love to see you guys doing. And what I'm going to do afterwards, I will give you a little kind of a little task or a little, you know, kind of action that you can take that will allow you to also connect with each other. I do this a lot online, and I'll show you what is the best way to introduce yourself here to allow people to say, wow, I want to connect with that person. That's a cool person. Maybe you can have a joint venture or some sort of a collaboration. So why is networking important when speaking, you know, when setting goals? 7 years ago, I was an entrepreneur who was all over the place doing a lot of different things. And one of my mentors came to me and said, Gil, what do you love the most? And I'm like, you know, I love talking to people and coaching people, and like, I love speaking in front of people. But he's like, okay, how many times did you speak this year? I was like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 times. Like, really, that's it? You said you want to speak in front of people. What are you going to do about it? And he said, okay, like, you know, let me maybe speak next year. I could speak like 20 times. He's like, no. Now you're kidding me. You said you want to speak. Can you speak more? I was like, yeah, I'm 30 times, 40 times a year. We're like, that's a lot. You know, it's like almost once every week. I thought it was a lot back then. He's like, Gil, you're playing small. Why don't you audit your network, see who you have around you, and then set up some new networking goals for yourself. And at that stage, I was still studying what is networking truly is. Remember, I'm an introvert. I'm an immigrant. I was born in Israel, and then I lived for some years in Canada and in England and in Russia. I've lived in different countries in my life, but I'm an immigrant. So networking and even English is a language I had to learn. Networking is also something I had to learn, and I had to learn through a lot of successful failures, trying things like, let's go talk to 3 women or I don't go home. You know, let's go talk to these 2 business guys that look like they're cool, or I'm not moving. I got to go talk to them. Like, I used to push myself to go and talk to them, push myself to step out of my comfort zone. And then I was like, okay, go talk to them and then get their phone number, and go talk to them, get their phone number, and call them the next day. I used to give myself all these tasks. And now, what did I do when I chose to become a professional speaker? I said, well, in order for me to grow quickly in my field, I need to network with the best people in my field. And I came up with a strategy. I said, well, I want to network with some of the greatest speakers in the world. I want to be able to build a business maybe with them. I want to be able to not just take a selfie with them, but I want to add value to them. Maybe I can connect them with someone. Maybe I can, you know, suggest something to them that can help them out. And every single person you see in these pictures, maybe do you know anybody in these pictures? Who's your favorite person that you see in these pictures? By the way, out of curiosity, let's see if you recognize some of these names. If you see someone, tell me their name. If you see someone you like, who's your favorite person? So a lot of these people are all my mentors. Now, someone like Tony Robbins, you see in the top middle, he's also been my business partner for the last 7 years. We've been representing Tony Robbins exclusively for the whole of the Russian market, bringing thousands and thousands of people to his events every single year. Before it was offline, now it's online. 3 years ago, we became the biggest global partner for Tony Robbins in the world. He invited me to his house for a one-on-one with him. Absolutely amazing thing. But I'm not showing you these pictures to show off. I'm not doing that. I'm showing you these pictures because I had to work my ass off to find the right opportunity to meet this person, add value to this person, learn from this person, serve this person. How? I did my research before I went them. For example, who's your favorite people? I can see you guys are writing, yeah, Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is amazing. Yes, of course. So which story do you want? You get to pick one of them. I'll give you one story today. I don't have time for all the stories. Well, I'll give you a networking story with one of them, okay? Come on, come on, come on. Whoever writes the same name, I need to see the same name again and again and again. You guys pick. Yeah, how did I meet this person? And I'll give you the real step-by-step process on how I networked with this person, how I met with them, and why it helped me to grow in business. Because if you have your goals in your life and you have some networking goals, you are then able to start achieving more and more goals by connecting with the right people. This is something you must consider. So for example, I wanted to be a speaker, connect with other speakers and learn from them. I wanted to be a coach, connect with speakers who are also coaches. I also wanted to be an entrepreneur at the same time so I can make money when I sleep. So I had to think about, can you connect with speakers who are also coaches, who are also entrepreneurs, who are making money when they sleep? And then suddenly the list became smaller and smaller. So I see you guys are putting different names. Okay, Richard Branson looks like it's winning. Okay, so Richard Branson, quick story with him. By the way, if you want the other stories, just follow up with me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to tell you all the stories. Richard Branson, 3 years ago, I know Richard Branson is going to be speaking at an event. I do everything I can to try to get myself also listed as a speaker at this event. Everything. I followed up with them and I called them and I called them and I called them. Like, Gil, I'm sorry, we're fully booked. You cannot become a speaker. I'm like, okay, can I at least try to get a VIP pass to get into the green room? They said, okay, we'll see what we could do. 24 hours before the event, Gil, I'm sorry, we can give you a nice pass, but you cannot go into the green room. You cannot go into the backstage to meet Richard. He's too busy. I'm giving you the long story, by the way, in the short way. I show up at the event. I see, wow, 25,000 people, exciting event. I'm feeling confident. I go to the backstage. The security guy is there. And I'm like, one of the organizers just called me and told me to come in the back. The security says, I don't see your name on the list. I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. They asked me to come in, allow me to come in. Now, sometimes a white lie and a lot of confidence will help you get into backstage. It's not telling you should do that. I'm just telling you my story, what I did. Got to the backstage, managed to see Richard Branson's room. I knock, no one answers. I knock, no one answers. I listen up, I hear voices. I open the door. Wow, I see 30 people in this room. Richard Branson sitting on the sofa. I'm excited. My heart is starting to beat because this guy's a big guy. And I'm nervous here. And it's the same thing when I met Tony Robbins, when I met Brian Tracy, when I met Keith Ferrazzi the first time. I was nervous, but I breathe in 3 times, quick internal meditation, calm down. You need to be here now. You know you can add value. And I'm saying this in my head to myself. And I'm stepping in there and I'm listening. Everybody asking Richard Branson different questions. And you know you've been in such situations, whether it was an online or an offline event where everybody is talking to the speaker and you don't able to get yourself in. What do? I wait for a window of opportunity where I suddenly see that everyone is talking to Richard like he's a god. Richard, tell me what to do in life. Richard, what is the answers for your life? And I realized that they haven't done their research. When I suddenly saw that there was silence just for a millisecond, I said, Richard, I got a quick question about Virgin Airline. I recently read that you wanted to launch Virgin Airline between Moscow and London. How can I or someone in this room help you to do that? Suddenly, the room is silence. Everyone looks at me. Who is speaking? What is going on? Suddenly, I'm not asking Richard a question. I'm offering help. And I'm not just offering help from me. I'm offering help from the rest of the room. Now, that conversation ended up becoming one of the greatest conversations in my life. If you want me to give you the rest of that story, I'll tell you at the end. But what you need to take away from this is a window of opportunity where you can add the value and not just take value, is where you can network with any high-level person. When you're asking someone for help, it's one thing. When you're offering them help, it's a way for them to open up their hearts to you. And then you could say, oh, by the way, can you give me some advice on which is exactly what I did with Richard. If you want me to tell you the rest of the story later on and how I managed to get Richard Branson's business card, ask me that at the end. I promise to give you time for that. So really, where is networking all coming from? What's happening, Gil? You know, like, who is this loud guy? You know, I haven't always been loud. I haven't always spoken this quickly, but I've learned that there's so much beauty in the world. There's so many amazing people in the world, and I wanted to connect with them. And I started doing research on the different types of networks and the clubs and all these communities, and masterminds are something that I started to research a lot of, because it's an ability to get a lot out of a group of people in a very short period of time. It's a way of you identifying mentors within minutes. It's a way of you adding huge amounts of value in sectors that you might not be an expert in, but you might have had this experience in life. So, you know, those of you who have heard about masterminds, give me yes, yes, yes. Maybe some of you have never heard about masterminds. Gil, what the heck is masterminds? Well, masterminds are a very unique way of networking. It's, especially during COVID time, it's a very beautiful way of connecting with people for periods of time, maybe 90 minutes, maybe 1 hour. If you have that time, you're able to connect with 6 or 7 people, sometimes 9 people, and you're able to suddenly add value if the right structure is given. So masterminds is all about collective intelligence. You know, it's all about you alone know one thing, but collectively, you actually unleashing what's called the collective genius. When you're able to talk to a few people with an open heart and open mind, you're not closed like, I know everything, I'm the best designer, I'm the best teacher. You're willing to learn, which is the #1 reason I always network. I want to learn from others. The second reason I network, I want to be able to add value to people all around me. So, you know, what's interesting is something you got to remember is masterminds or networking in general allow you to solve problems. They allow you to solve challenges, whether it is you're looking for a new place to live, you're looking for a recommendation on the best pizza place in your new neighborhood, you're looking for a place to send your kids to school. It always comes down to networking. And it always comes down to, are you willing to ask your network for help? And are you willing to ask people outside of your network? Because, for example, if your network today is 20, 30, 50 people, maybe 100 people, and I don't know how big you are and how active you are on social media. I know that some of you have answered the poll. We had a poll with you guys before, and we were asking you guys about the social media that you guys are active on. Maybe you could check out the polls when you get a second and just answer some of those questions. It'd be very, very interesting to see where you guys stand, and, you know, in general, networking and coaching on social media. Whenever you get a chance, go in there and quickly answer that if you'd like to. So networking and masterminds are very much for solving problems. Masterminds provide strategic partnerships and networking in general as well. So, for example, if you today are a designer specializing in logos and you don't design websites, for example, fully, as an example, you can partner up with someone and then offer your services to your client. Or, for example, if you're a designer of everything, and then your clients will come to you and say, can you design these things for us? Yes, yes, of course I can do this. You can also say to them, by the way, if you need any of these things printed and delivered to your house or delivered to your office within 48 hours, this is my sister company, or this is my strategic partners, or this is who we do a lot of business with. This partner does an amazing job, and if you mention my name, you'll also get 10% discount, or you'll get some free extra envelopes. You know, strategic partnerships is when two businesses come together where they don't compete, where they can offer much higher additional value to the end user. Masterminds and, you know, high-level network is about learning from successful failures, about being able to learn from mentors and being able to learn from other people out there. That makes it a lot easier for you to kind of connect. And I see that someone from the team, if you want to be connecting with me, thank you, team, for sharing that. I just had a pop-up saying that if you want to connect with me on social media. Mastermind, successful failures. It's great not just to learn from people's success. Whenever I see, you know, great students and entrepreneurs out there and they ask people questions, they're always asking about their success. Ask them about their failures. That's where you were gonna learn. You're gonna fail whether you think it or not. You might end up being broke a few times in your life. I've been broke 3 times in my life. It's an amazing feeling. You learn to be resourceful. You learn to call the right people. You learn to jump back up. Some of the richest people in the world who are billionaires have been broke or bankrupt multiple times in their life. The reason they jumped back up is only because of their network, not because they were like the smartest person in the room. Masterminds, it's about having like-minded people around you. Here's a very big question to all of you, and it might be hurtful to even answer this one. How many of you wish you can upgrade your network? How many of you have some people around you are like, oh my God, these people, they suck my energy, or they're not really successful, or they're never happy, you know, they're always moody, they're always complaining, and you wish you can have less time with them and more people that are positive and optimistic, and they're opportunists, and they believe in entrepreneurship, they believe in serving, they believe in doing charity. I love doing charity. I'm doing so much here in Bali to make a difference in the community, to serve the community, to help people. This is something that you got to be thinking about. Now, masterminds are structured in very, very specific ways, depending on how big of a network you have. It's how you are looking at the connections you have and the experience sharing, how the business network itself connected to your personal network. Do you have one network? You can write that down. Have I split up my personal and business network, or are they just all combined? Because you can audit your network by asking yourself, how many people do I have in my network that I see as mentors? How many people do I have in my network do I look up to? How many people do I have in my network that suck my energy and I don't know where they're going in life? How many people do I have in my network that I really like them? I really love them, but they're not necessarily helping me in life. They're not helping me to progress. They're not helping me with new clients. They're not helping me to find growth in life, which is what most human beings want. They want to grow, they want to progress. By progressing, by moving forward in life, you find happiness, you find money, you find relationships. You know, you find these 3 things that everybody wants. You want relationships, love people that love you and you can love them. You want to be able to have growth and progress and maybe develop into spirituality if you want to, really up to you. And of course, you want to be able to accumulate wealth. And wealth is not only money, it's investments, it's assets, but also wealth is actually having a powerful network of people. So networking is really something, and masterminds are usually something for people who are interested in growth. They're interested in starting a business. They want to grow their business. They want to enter a new market. Imagine right now you're just focused in Indonesia, or you're just focused on Algeria, for example. And you're like, well, I'm tired of this network. I want to sell myself in America. I want to sell myself in England. That's when you really need networking. You really need to understand how to jump the pond, go into a whole new network, right? So changing industries. How many of you have changed industries in your life, for example? I've changed my industries 14 times in my life. I used to be in distribution with big distribution companies before. I used to be in the organic health and beauty industry. I used to be in warehousing and retail. I was in jewelry retailing. I was in completely different industries so many times. And I did that because I didn't know what I wanted to do for a living. I didn't make final decisions. And today I'm 41 and I have 3 awesome kids, and I'm very much aligned with what I'm doing in life, but also very, very open for new things to come in. Now, I've gone through this with so many different people from different backgrounds, and I'm constantly getting people who are saying, no. Masterminds are not for me. It's I have a network already. It's okay. I have a way to connect with people. I don't need to use LinkedIn. For example, how many of you are active on LinkedIn? Give me a yes if you're active on LinkedIn. You know, if you're constantly developing your community. Good, beautiful. I love that. Yes. Come on, give me some more yeses. Now, not really, okay. Give me a yes if you're active more than an hour a day. A yes plus. An hour a day is when you're constantly not just building your network, you're nurturing your network. So you're taking specific actions, for example, of joining one new group every week on LinkedIn and being active there for just 5 minutes every day by adding value, by giving comments. Maybe someone is asking some simple advice about your industry. You can add value. Maybe, for example, you're sometimes tired of networking outside of your network. What you could do is you can open your WhatsApp And you can scroll down, because this is networking online. And you can go back like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It's funny, I just went back 2 weeks. You know, I need to go back more. Okay, I went back 1 month. And you could say, hey, why have I not spoken to this guy, Joseph? This is a really good guy. He's a very good connection. I had fun with him. Why have I not followed up with Eli or Andy? Why should I maybe quickly follow up with, you know, this guy, this girl, Ellen? You know, how would that relationship end up in my life? And then you might be thinking, well, I don't have a lot of time, and you're coming up with all these excuses. But going into your network on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, and giving it a little bit of your time, what you're actually doing is you're growing a field of a network. Imagine you have your own Garden of Eden, and every single plant that is in there is a new relationship that you've met. Where you met them, a seed was planted. Now, if you don't give any energy to this relationship, the energy would stay neutral. But if you give it a little bit of energy every once in a while by sending them a happy, smiley face, hey, I was thinking about you this week. I hope that everything is going well. Hey, it's been 3 months since we talked. What's new and exciting in your life? Hey, it's been a year since we talked. COVID was crazy for me. This is what I'm doing these days. What's new and exciting with you? Now, you might not feel comfortable to do that the first 2, 3, maybe 10 times, but I promise you it's going to get natural and it's going to feel good, because you're adding value to the field and you're not needing them to respond, and you don't need to do anything with them right now. Don't send someone a message and say, hey, I'm looking for new clients. Can you introduce me to some of your friends? Don't do that. Add value to people and inspire them with what it is that you're doing so they would want to introduce you. Inspire people with what is motivating for you. Tell people what is new and exciting in your life, and they will be exciting for you. I'm constantly having all these amazing people pop in and out of my life that were somehow afraid or not afraid of joining masterminds, of joining new networks. But once they step out of that comfort zone, suddenly things open up. People give them feedback. They suddenly are sitting in a room with complete strangers, and suddenly they hear something that clicked, and they understood what they had to do, which is what is truly the power of networking, is when you hear someone say something that your mind would not have said to you, and you need to hear it from someone else. And as long as you're opening to that, you're willing to listen to people. You don't have to listen to them and do everything they say. You can listen to different people and then allow yourself to choose, what am I doing next? What is my next step? So these are some really, really powerful websites that I wanted to share with you that I would highly recommend you explore and check out. I think that every single one of them could help you open up a network and help you understand where you can network online. And there's 3 ways of always networking online. 1, leaving a digital footprint, which means try to be active on social media, on maybe your favorite 1 or 2 or 3 social media, at least 30 minutes a day, if not more. Try to be active by adding value, going into different groups, commenting, sharing, add value, yeah? Number 2, try to follow up with people from your past and ask them questions. Try to follow up people to maintain some sort of level of relationship so that your field, your Garden of Eden is always growing slowly. So if the next COVID hits, you know you can call some people that have your back. You know you can call some people that can give you some advice. And the number 3 thing is to always be mindful of your words. So right now, what you could do for just 1 minute before we go into questions and answers, you could choose to close your eyes if you want to. It's a very simple and fun exercise. And just consider, what sort of people would you like to meet today? If you had all of these options, what sort of people do you want to meet? Don't say, I want to meet Richard Branson today. That might not be realistic. But what sort of people do you want to meet today? Like, really consider, I want to meet someone who's, in my industry for maybe 3 to 5 years more than me, and they're an expert in this, and maybe they're 2 or 3 steps ahead of me. Who do you want to meet? And this powerful mind that you have, you can actually manifest people in your network. I do this constantly, and I'm hoping that I manifested some people here with you guys today. So I'm excited to be answering your questions and giving you a couple of gifts at the end that might be supporting you further to, check out your favorite social medias, and whether it's Instagram, whether I love LinkedIn, Maybe some of you are already in some of these new networks that have opened up. How many of you, for example, have heard about this new network that's called Clubhouse? Have you heard about Clubhouse? This is like the newest thing. It's almost like Zoom plus podcast plus all social medias, all live without videos, but just constant like communication with amazing people. Check out Clubhouse if you can. It's really, really powerful. So networking online is easier than you think. Start with goals. Make sure you have a curious mindset that knows what it is that you're looking for, and make sure that you're constantly adding value to people. So let's get some questions in. I'm hoping that I added some value. How many people got 1 or 2 or 3 insights out of today? Give me a smiley face. Give me a yes, yes, yes. Make some noise if this was a little bit helpful for you. In 1 quick hour, I can't give you everything I've learned for the last 10 years. I usually do these workshops for 3 days. Sometimes it's 3 hours, and sometimes it's structured very specific to a specific target audience. So, I hope that I gave you good. I'm happy. I hope that I gave you a little bit of motivation, understanding the importance of the most important subject ever is the way you network, the way you build relationships, the way you add value to them, and the way you slowly extract value from the network. So let's get some questions. I'll check out this section here that says questions. And
really sorry, Gil. We will take up the questions, and we have a couple of them lined up in the questions tab. But before that, we should be breaking for mid-roll for around 1 minute, and then we have another CPA for everyone, and then we can, take the questions. So,
beautiful.
guys. Right. So you have been lovely audiences, guys. At the start of the event, there were around 60 people, and now the number is at 75. None of you actually went out of the session for even a minute, which is a very good sign. Thank you so much for being such a lovely audience. Please fill up the questions tab for Gil to answer. And in the meanwhile, we will take a quick break and come back. Let me also give a quick shout out to Designhill for organizing this event. Stay tuned, and we will be right back to hear more from Gil.
Clarematics is a full-service video agency based around video production. We created a brand that fit our identity at the time, but as we've evolved as a company, we found that original brand didn't quite fit our aspirations anymore. Finding a partner to rebrand your entire company takes a lot of time and effort. Finding Designhill was an incredible lifeline. Designhill offers a money-back guarantee. If we don't like any of the designs, we get all of our money back. The stuff that we ended up with were well beyond what we had been seeing on other creative services platforms. After creating a simple design brief by answering some questions created by Designhill, we posted, and within a few days, we had over 250 entries. Designhill's platform made it easy to communicate with all of the potential designers. Eventually, we picked a winner. In addition to a logo, our designer also created a letterhead, business card.
All right. Okay, so let's quickly jump onto the questions. But before that, I would request Robin to give a quick CTA for the Masterminds event. Robin, if you can hear me, please drop the CTA ASAP so we can move on to the questions part.
You could do that at the end. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you want to connect with me and you want to understand more about what I do, easiest way is to connect with me on LinkedIn or on Instagram, and just send me Designhill and then ask your questions so I know where you came from. My team will respond very, very quickly. If you want to talk to me directly, it's very easy to set up what's called a discovery call with me. I'm happy to jump on a call with you if it's relevant to us. And the team here at Designhill will send at the end a little link for a mastermind that I have coming up. We have 3 spots left just in case you want to join. Very, very powerful, and it's extremely affordable. And we guarantee incredible results. We've never had one request for a refund or one disappointed client. It's beautiful. But let's come back to some questions. I'd love to be able to add value to you.
Right. All right. So on the questions tab, let's start from the bottom because they were the first. These were the questions that were first asked. Daniel Stilal is asking, I'm afraid because of the high instances of violence against girls to share my personal details that would be crucial in building a relationship with people on social media. How much information should I share without compromising my safety and privacy?
Yeah, so it's a really, really powerful question, Danielle. Thank you very much for asking that. So I actually believe that these days on social media, if someone really wants to get your information, they can. They'll look online, they'll do the research that they really want to. If you look at what I share online personally, I share quite a bit. My sister shares quite a bit. My wife shares quite a bit. Like majority of my clients today are women. They share quite a bit. And you know, there's some things that you might not want to share. Don't share your home address. Don't share your credit card information on random social media sites. Therefore, this is logical stuff, but you know, sharing what you love and sharing what you do and sharing some of the places you hang out at, that could maybe help you. I don't know enough about you to tell you specifically what you should or should not share, but if you want to be a public person, if you're a freelancer and you want people to know who you want to be able to build your personal brand. Today, more than ever before, people don't buy companies, they buy people. They want to buy you, they want to be excited by you. So if you have a cool dog and you go for a walk with them, some of your clients might be excited that you're a very disciplined person that wakes up early in the morning and goes for a walk with your dog. And that might be a chit-chat conversation with your future clients because they also love dogs. So it really depends on you and what you do and how open you want to be. And if you're in a position where you want to find a lover one day in your life, or you know, maybe you already have a husband, so you don't have to be as personal online. And it's really personal. It's different for every person.
All right, Daniel, I hope you got your answer. There's another question by Daniel, which is, how can students use LinkedIn to network? I mean, what type of content should we post since we may not have the same level of experiences or expertise as the professionals on LinkedIn?
So, you know, it's a cool question because I've spoken so much in front of students at universities and all over the world. And, you know, in recent times, I was actually here in Bali and in Singapore. It's more important for you than ever before, actually, because for you, it's important because a lot of companies are going to check out what it is that you do outside of being a student. Are you volunteering your time anywhere? Have you done any kind of support work for companies? Have you worked as a freelancer while studying? Have you given your time to any NGOs? You can outline your hobbies. You can outline your skills. You can outline the languages that you speak. You could show that you are active in different groups. You could show that you're adding content. Maybe there's some really interesting content. You like writing, you like designing. Even as a student, even if you're 18 years old, there's so much that you can add if you understand the amazing value you have. Now, if you don't understand your value, then you know, go online, maybe on Google, and type how to understand my value and learn more about that, because you're extremely valuable whether you think it or not. You know, you are from a specific country, from a specific city, or an industry, and an age where if I come to your country, you are more knowledgeable than I am. You can always say, you know, I can connect you with the, you know, different, you know, opinion leaders maybe in your country, or maybe you're well connected in your city and you know the greatest hotels and restaurants. It's really up to you to understand how extremely valuable you really are. And remember that if you're you know, a lazy person who's not doing anything in life and you're always on video games and all you're doing is you're trying to just do the bare minimum in your school, then yeah, LinkedIn is not for you, because no one's going to care about you. You know, people want people with value. People want people who believe in themselves. So these days, you know, I met a group of students the other day that were 13, 14, and 15-year-olds who were like doing startups right now and raising money and doing Shark Tank kind of events, and like 13 years old. Oh my God, when I was 13 years old, I was like doing nothing. So these days in the new generations, people who are young, we're expecting a lot from you. So you better be active on LinkedIn. And if you can't be active by showing how much value you have, learn about other people. And one of the things I believe in that I did a lot in my life, until I had a lot of belief in myself, I found amazing teachers and I promoted them to other people. And that's called a knowledge broker. You know, and a knowledge broker is someone who's able to promote other people while they get comfortable with themselves. If you want to get an amazing content about knowledge broker blueprint, send me a message again on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and say, can you please send me a free webinar of Tony Robbins about the knowledge broker? It's completely free. It's an amazing webinar. My team can send that to you later on. Yeah, my team will make a note of that. Another question.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for such nice insights, Gil. Moving on to the next question, Yuanita asks, do you have basic general topics to greet new people on any new occasion, which can lead to networking, and how to deal with negative thoughts that sometimes emerge when we want to start communicating and networking with new people?
So the answer is, of course I do. Come on. So, you know, there's so many big answers. So first of all, I'll give you the simplest answer. Networking really starts in your brain. And what I used to do for so many years before I got comfortable and confident, I used to bullshit myself. I was like, Gil, come on, you're confident. You can go talk to them. In my mind, like, Gil, come on, go for it, go for it. Just go and talk to her and say hi. Go and talk to her and like introduce yourself. Go and talk to her and just ask her how she's doing. Go talk to her and ask her how's the food. Like, I experimented. There is no perfect pickup lines. There is no icebreaker that will work every single time except hi.
Right.
It truly doesn't exist, ladies and gentlemen, because maybe you're in a conference and you can walk up to someone and ask them which one was your favorite speaker. Maybe you're at someone's birthday party and you can walk up to them and say, hey, how do you know the birthday girl? Like, I don't know what scenario you're in, but every scenario is super different. The important thing is to tell yourself, before you walk into that event, who do I wish I can meet today? Make networking goals. And don't say again, I want to meet the billionaire in the room and I want to meet a new client. I want to meet someone who would inspire me because they've been doing a similar business to myself for longer than I have. I want to meet someone that can maybe recommend to me where I can get more clients. I want to meet someone that I can fall in love with. I want to meet someone that, you know, don't say I want to meet my future husband. Say I want to meet someone that I have something in common with and I'd love to meet them again tomorrow for lunch or for coffee. Be simple and specific with your networking goals before you go into an event. And how to deal with negative thoughts. There is one way to deal with negative thoughts, and it truly works for everyone. It's worked for me when I got on big stages. You know, when I used to get on stages of 20 people and 50 people and 100 people, and I went from 100 people, and this was in 2015, in December of 2015, from 100 people was the biggest events that I was doing. You know, like, that was big for me. I was like nervous. I jumped to 6,000 people. And since then, I've been doing 6,000, 10,000, 20,000 people, no problem, many, many times. Like, I've done hundreds of events. But that jump, literally, this is exactly what I did. First of all, before I got on stage, I was like, yes, you can do it. Go. 1, 2, 3. And I took steps. I couldn't not take a step. They called my name. I got to get on stage. The second thing you did is, as you walk on stage, as you walk into an event, look around the room and in your head, compliment as many people as you can. Literally, like, nice shirt, nice hair. Oh, you're sexy, you're cute. I'd love to talk to you later. Like, in your head, just compliment with authenticity. Be honest. Don't say like, oh, you're nice. Not really. Oh, that's a nice shirt, but I would never wear that. Don't do that to yourself. Be truly optimistic and positive to anyone around you. And ladies and gentlemen, it works. It works so really well. The next time you get on any kind of event, the next time you walk into a meeting with some people, compliment them in your head nonstop. One compliment, another compliment, and you'll end up smiling and you'll end up looking and feeling confident. And people love confidence. Gentlemen, women love confident men. Remember that. And if you can't be confident, you can fake it by loving people around you. You're going to just look confident in front of others.
That's something I'm gonna try that for sure. Like, the complimenting thing, I'm gonna try that for sure for myself. And thank you so much, Gil. There are a couple of questions around being introvert. Carolina asks, one of her first fears is public speaking, especially because she's an introvert and prefer not to be there on the stage. You mentioned you are one as well. Gil, for you, yet managed a way to speak publicly to people while being comfortable. What was the one thing you wished to know before pursuing that passion?
So a couple of things. First of all, if you're an introvert, you could do a lot of tests online. I've done like 5 different tests because my wife and my mom and my business partner, everyone said, no, you're not an introvert, no way. I've done an introvert. I'm a level 3 introvert, which means that I'm not necessarily comfortable around too many people all the time. It means that I have a lot of attention to detail. And when an introvert, you have attention and you also have the perception and also the energy, you're feeling everything around you, your energy levels will drop down very, very quickly. So a couple of things. First of all, to the introverts out there, if you ever walk into any event and you know you're an introvert, 3 little tips. Number 1, stay by a solid place, like have a wall behind you. And if you're sitting in the middle of a room, your energy levels will drop. Worst place to be is next to a bar. Number 2, whenever you feel your energy drop, don't go home. Go to the bathroom and wash your hands for 5 minutes. That really works. Go outside for a second and get some fresh air. Don't go on your phone because that's also networking and also takes a lot of attention. So stay in this space, just disconnect from having a lot of people around you. And number 3, just remind yourself that you're an introvert and you're not, like you're not an alien. You're not. You're an introvert, and that's it. Introverts are actually the best CEOs in the world. Introverts are actually the best friends. Statistically speaking, in the world, introverts are the best friends people have. They're the best CEOs, they're the best leaders. You're a great individual. It's just starting conversations with strangers might be a little bit challenging, and it just means you don't have enough experience. Now, if you want to start a public, how many of you want to do like public speaking, or you want to be a coach one day, which is a beautiful thing, like give me yes in the chat, because public speaking is all about sharing knowledge. You don't have to become a Tony Robbins. You don't have to become a Brian Tracy. You don't need to become a Gil Petersil that has all this crazy energy on calls. You can become yourself, and you can have a small audience of 50 people. And if you can turn it into a small business one day. The best way to get things started is to identify other public speakers who are 3 to 5 steps ahead of you and start following them. The best other thing to do is to find public speakers who are maybe 10 steps ahead of you and start following them and writing notes. What are they doing? What are they talking about? Are they sharing their successes and their failures? Where have they failed? And the last thing you got to do is just do it. Really, it's like my first year of speaking, I told you, was just like but 6 speeches. And my second year of public speaking, can you guess how many speeches I've done? If any of you guess how many speeches I did in my second year of public speaking, I will give you, I don't know, anything you want. I'll give you a free, a free mentorship session. Go for it. How many do you think I did in my second year? You get nothing to lose. Wow, 200, Mia, you are a real optimist. I love you, Mia. You're amazing. Okay, very almost. Come on, 10,000, Mr. Patel, Mrs. Patel, Tirta. I'm assuming that's a Mrs. 520. Are you guys like? Let's be realistic here. Come on. 120 speeches I did in my first year, and majority of them were actually for free. Majority of them for free because I understood that it took a lot of practice, and I needed to get better and better, and I needed to learn how to engage the audience and how to do good presentations and how to stay on time and how to just feel great about doing it. So, I hope to really connect with some of you, and I'd love to see some of you in my masterminds, especially if you had enough of some of your network and you want to scale now, you want to grow your business, or you want to develop a brand new business, or maybe you want to just, I don't know, find more happiness and find more friends. I'd love to connect with any of you. So I hope the team shared with you guys the link. If you want to come, just check it out. There you go, mastermind session. Please do come. We put it for you guys at a very, very affordable price compared to some of the other people who are paying. So, if you cannot pay, just again, connect with me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and make sure you start by writing Designhill so I know where you came from. I want to be appreciative to the Designhill team. And then ask me a question. You can ask me about introverts. You can ask me for some of my free material. I love to serve, and I know I can make a difference in your life, so allow me to.
That's very gracious of you, Gil. Such exhilarating answers. You have some energy on you. It's so nice to have you here with us. All right. So we will be taking like 2-3 more questions. We have like many more questions, but we are actually running ahead of time. So okay. Amrafel, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, asks, what is your inspiration doing entrepreneurship? What is your entrepreneurship inspiration?
So, yeah, that's a really good question. I like that. Thank you. You know, I've been an entrepreneur since a very young age, but I didn't really know it was called an entrepreneur. So I set up my first business at the age of 14, and I've been experimenting a lot with business. And back then, I did it for money. So at the age of 14, I wanted to set up a business because I really wanted to buy a gift for a girl I really liked, and my parents would not give me the money. So they said to me, go make your own money. And I always, in the early age, I set up projects, different companies, and different little kind of selling something online or offering my services or anything because I wanted to make money. Then in my mid-20s, I started understanding a lot more about entrepreneurship, and I started to get inspired by problems that the world had. And I started to find problems in different industries. In the retail industry, I worked in the organic health and beauty industry, and I saw a few different problems and opportunities that people have. And that's also how I started getting involved in a lot of charity work. Here in Bali, for example, I got involved with an organization called the Plastic Exchange, which is amazing. And I've helped them scale to 200 different banjars. Banjar is like a little village within Bali, and plastic exchanges, and is anyone can collect any plastic, and once a month they can bring the plastic somewhere and they can collect rice or vegetables or food instead of that. And it's amazing, you know, they bring plastic, they weigh it, and I don't remember, it's like every 4 kilos of plastic gets you a kilo of rice, for example. And that's an amazing movement that really inspired me, but that's how entrepreneurship starts. You get inspired by a problem, you get inspired by an opportunity that many people have, and usually you get inspired by problems that you have. You know, so it could be a problem that has to do with maybe if you have kids and your kids don't have the right school, they don't have the right games maybe. You know, I've set up so many businesses with them. I was in Moscow many years ago. I really loved juice bars, and there was no juice bars anywhere around my area. So I set up 2 juice bars. Not that I really wanted to be in the juice bar business, but I sold that business and that was cool, you know, but like, that's what entrepreneurship really is. It's about being inspired by problems that society has. And now I'm not necessarily inspired by money. It's not money that drives me, but a good company should be sustainable. So a company needs to make money in order to be able to be sustainable and grow, or in order to be able to stay alive. Some companies, you know, depending on what you're building, if you want to build like a unicorn, multi-billion-dollar industry, yeah, you can. I know many friends who have companies who don't make any money. They just have money from investors and investors and investors, and they just spend money and money and money. I personally don't believe in those kind of businesses, even though I see they're working and I invest in some of them and I consult to some of these companies. But I love building businesses that, you know, can make me money in the first month, and then I can invest that money back in the business and hire a person and hire 2 people and invest more in marketing. I like that. Like now we've set up 2 new companies here in Bali, and I'm very excited about that because, you know, I know they can make money from their first month. I know they can. And that's exciting for me. It inspires me that, you know, the world is full of problems. You know, full of problems, and unfortunately, and they're not going to go away. And I think it's really our responsibilities to see these problems and say, well, actually, this is not a problem, this is an opportunity, and then realize that I will not be able to solve this alone. So either I bring people to help me solve this problem, or what I highly recommend you consider first is, why don't I find other entrepreneurs who are currently in the process of trying to solve these problems, and why don't I help them for a little bit, maybe 6 months, maybe a couple of years. You go and help other entrepreneurs, and then you will learn about entrepreneurship, and you will learn what it means, and maybe later on in your life you could choose to do your own thing. But please don't just wake up in the morning and go set up your own business unless you've done your research, unless you understand what the market is like, unless you understand who the competitors are, unless you've really done your research and you have the right resources. If you want to help solve problems in the world and be an entrepreneur, first step, go find some other entrepreneurs who are doing the exact same thing you want to do and go help them. If you want to help me, please, I'm looking for designers. I'm looking for help all the time. If you can help me, send me a message telling me, Gil, I can help you. Your website is crap, or your logo is bad, or this is thing. Let me help you. You know, you can criticize me. I know what is wrong with me. Yeah, I am far from perfect. Yesterday, I celebrated on Sunday, I celebrated 11 years with today, the woman of my life. She's my wife. She's the mother of my 3 kids. She's my best friend. And people were asking us, what makes you guys such an ideal partner? And we look at each other and we're like, we're not ideal. We're not perfect. There's so many things wrong with us. But that's what makes it beautiful in life, because even as an entrepreneur, there's so many things wrong with me today. That's why I'm willing to meet new people and I'm willing to serve you, because maybe one of you is there to serve me somehow. And maybe I'm supposed to serve you so that somehow you can write me a message and wow, you're the one I've been looking for this whole time.
Amazing, amazing. I hope that I could take a few more questions, but I already see that, you know, they are being covered by Gil some way or the other during the entire session. I urge everyone to please watch the replay of this event, which will be there in your email boxes after the event gets over. Also on the YouTube channel in a couple of days, the recording will go live. So please go watch the session. Hear Gil again and again. I'm sure, you know, every time you're feeling nervous, every time we feel you know, slackening down, we can always get back to Gil, and his like umpteen videos are there on YouTube. I was listening to one myself this afternoon, and it is amazing, really amazing to hear Gil. With that, we will actually have to wrap up the session. Gil, any last thoughts, anything that you want to share with our audience, please do.
You know, guys, ladies and gentlemen, please live with passion and connect with love. Just connect with people. Please, if you have kids, don't teach your kids that strangers are danger. Please understand that human beings are there for you, and we're community-driven people. And one of the greatest lessons I learned in life, that every single person that comes into my life is an angel. And they're coming either to somehow save me for something, so I need to listen, and I need to listen. I need to allow them to save me or teach me something, or they're coming from me to be an angel for them. And I need to be able to serve them. So try to avoid too many transactions with everyone you meet, and try to avoid selling yourself to everyone you meet. Try to focus more on promoting what's beautiful about you and your vulnerability and how you're willing to learn and grow. And that's what makes people attractive. So that's why I'm excited about seeing which one of you has the courage to follow up with me. Which one of you has the courage to follow up with me and ask a question or add value and stay in touch. Staying in touch is one of the most powerful secrets of networking. Following up with people that you truly believe in. And I believe in you. Thank you again.
Absolutely. I also see a couple of people have already messaged you on Instagram to say so you know, Designhill's community will be there on your Instagram handle or on your social handles to follow up with you. Please do, guys, make the most of what Gil has to offer. He's really amazing. This actually brings us to the end of the wonderful session with Gil. It was indeed a value-packed session. Although there's a lot more that we could have discussed, you know, we could listen to Gil on and on. Unfortunately, we are limited by time here. We're already ahead, 15 minutes ahead of the session, and not even a single person dropped out. That itself is a testimony. I hope you guys loved the session. Once again, I would like to thank Gil for taking out the time and to be a part of this event. And guys who are here with us, this is not very tense. We have a lot more events lined up for you in the coming days. So if you guys are interested and haven't registered yet, my team will be putting up the links of the event section in the tab, in the chat section. Please go and register yourself. Also, please let us know in case if you want us to host a particular speaker or any topics that you want to hear more on, please tell us. Follow us on our LinkedIn page. Also, you can also watch the recording of this video in a couple of days on YouTube, like I said, and along with that, many other recordings are there by the industry experts for both business community and designers. Please go check out our YouTube channel and please subscribe. For all the designers and artists who are listening to this and wish to be a part of the thriving design community, Designhill is the place for you guys. We have recently launched some cool design challenges which are worth $5,000 per month. Please go participate there. The challenges are up there for everyone's participation. Check more about it. The link will be in the chat box once again. On that note, I would like to say bye to everyone who joined us here today. Thanks for being such a lovely audience. Take care, guys, and stay safe.
Thank you, everyone. Lots of love to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.